We've looked up at the moon our entire lives, a quiet, glowing companion in the night sky. But what if the moon isn't what we think it is? What if it's hollow? From strange vibrations that echoed like a bell, to theories of artificial origins and alien bases, today we're diving into one of the most bizarre space mysteries ever proposed. Is the moon a natural satellite or a cosmic lie? The moon's silent, lifeless, and familiar. It's been orbiting Earth for billions of years, influencing our tides, our calendars, and even our myths. But what if it's not what we think it is? In 1969, during NASA's Apollo 12 mission, something strange happened. Astronauts intentionally crashed part of their spacecraft into the lunar surface. What followed shocked the scientists watching back on Earth. The moon rang. Not like a thud or a shake, but like a bell. For over an hour, seismic instruments registered deep, reverberating vibrations. The moon didn't just absorb the impact, it echoed. This one event sparked a question that's still whispered today. Is the moon hollow? It sounds like science fiction, or maybe a wild internet theory. But the deeper you go, the more strange things you find: signals, densities, orbits, and ancient legends that don't quite add up. So let's go there. Let's explore the theory that the moon might not be what it seems. On the 20th of November, 1969, the Apollo 12 astronauts completed their mission and prepared to leave the moon. But before heading home, NASA scientists planned an experiment. They released the lunar module ascent stage, letting it crash into the moon's surface. A controlled impact meant to study how the moon responds to seismic activity. What happened next was completely unexpected. Seismic instruments, which the astronauts had placed earlier on the surface, picked up vibrations that lasted over an hour. According to NASA's own data, the moon rang like a bell. Not a quick quake, not surface-level tremors, but a deep, long-lasting echo that made it seem like the moon was made of metal, or at least not solid rock. Later missions repeated similar experiments. Apollo 13's third stage booster struck the moon with even more force. And again, it rang. This time for over 3 hours. The seismic waves didn't behave like they do on Earth. Instead of moving outward in chaotic patterns, they traveled uniformly, suggesting something odd about the moon's internal structure. To be clear, NASA never claimed the moon was hollow, but the unusual seismic response couldn't be ignored. It defied expectations and opened the door to a theory that was once unthinkable. What if the moon isn't solid inside? What if it's something else entirely? The idea that the moon might be hollow didn't start with Apollo, but the missions gave it momentum. Back in the 1970s, two Soviet scientists, Mikhail Vasin and Alexander Sherbakov, published a bold hypothesis. What if the moon is not a natural object at all? In their article titled Asterisk, "Is the Moon the Creation of an Alien Intelligence?" Asterisk. They argued that the moon might be a massive artificial satellite, possibly a hollow shell, deliberately placed in orbit long ago. They pointed to several strange facts. The moon is exactly the right size and distance to perfectly cover the sun during a solar eclipse, a rare cosmic coincidence. Its orbit is unusually circular for a natural satellite, and its density is much lower than expected for a body of its size. Their theory? That the moon may have been engineered, either as a cosmic observatory or even as a transport ship, now dormant in Earth's orbit. Mainstream science dismissed their claims as pure speculation. But the idea took hold in fringe communities, conspiracy circles, and among curious thinkers who felt that the moon's odd behavior couldn't be ignored. Could a massive structure, possibly hollow, be hiding behind the image of our quiet lunar companion? It sounds far-fetched, but what comes next adds even more fuel to the fire. So, what makes people believe the moon might be hollow, or even artificial? Let's look at the pieces of evidence that continue to spark debate. A usual density. The moon has a much lower density than Earth, about 3.3 grams per cubic centimeter, compared to Earth's 5.5. This suggests the moon may have a smaller core, or even large hollow regions. While science attributes this to its unique formation, others argue it doesn't quite add up. Vibrations that don't behave. We already saw how Apollo's impacts made the moon ring. But it wasn't just the duration. It was the way the vibrations moved. Slowly, uniformly, without the chaotic dispersal we see in earthquakes. Some researchers compared it to a metal shell reverberating, not solid rock. Shallow craters. Despite massive meteor impacts, many lunar craters are oddly shallow. The theory: a hard inner shell beneath the surface prevents deeper penetration, like hitting armor. Strange echoes and signals. Over the years, ham radio operators, radar installations, and even some early lunar missions reported unusual radio echoes coming from the moon. In rare cases, these signals bounced back with unexplained delays, suggesting interference or reflection from an unknown internal structure. And Revan. Perfect eclipses. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun and also 400 times closer to Earth. That's why solar eclipses fit so perfectly. A pure coincidence or part of a design? Individually, these anomalies might not prove anything, but taken together, they form a picture that's hard to ignore and one that keeps the hollow moon theory alive. Mainstream science has its own explanations, and they don't involve aliens or giant space stations. Seismic vibrations. NASA scientists explain that the moon's unusual seismic behavior comes from its dry, rigid interior. Unlike Earth, which has water and a molten core that help absorb shocks, the moon's dry rock transmits energy longer and farther, causing those long, bell-like echoes. Low density. The moon likely formed from Earth's outer layers after a massive collision billions of years ago, the giant impact hypothesis. That outer material is less dense than core rock, which explains the moon's lighter composition. Shallow craters. According to planetary geologists, the moon's crust is layered and very compact. When meteors hit, the impact energy spreads sideways rather than digging deeper. It's not armor, it's just geology. Echoes and radio signals. Many of the strange signals reported in the past can be explained by radio interference, ionospheric bounce, or simply misunderstood data, especially from early radio technology. As for perfect eclipses, that's a coincidence of timing, one that won't last forever. The moon is slowly drifting away, and in millions of years, total eclipses will disappear. Scientists argue that the hollow moon theory doesn't hold up under serious scrutiny. There's no seismic data to suggest a cavity, no gravitational anomaly, no magnetic field structure to indicate a shell. But for many, the official explanations feel too neat, too convenient. And that's why the theory persists, because mystery always finds a way. Of course, Where science steps back, legends rush in. Some say the moon isn't just hollow, it's occupied. Alien base theories? According to fringe researchers and whistleblowers, the moon may host secret alien installations, possibly underground, shielded from detection. Some even claim that certain craters hide entrances, circular, geometric, and too perfect to be natural. In 2014, blurry satellite images showed a structure inside a shadowy crater that some swore was an artificial tower. NASA never confirmed or denied its nature. The image circulated the internet like wildfire. Whistleblower claims. Former military personnel and alleged insiders have told stories of seeing structures, lights, and even movement on the dark side of the moon. None of these stories are backed by hard proof, but in the age of deepfakes and mistrust, many are willing to believe. Ancient lore. Some ancient cultures had myths suggesting the moon wasn't always in the sky. Early Mesopotamian and African tribes told of a time asterisk before the moon, when it arrived suddenly, a foreign object in the heavens. It's easy to dismiss these stories as imagination or metaphor, but when paired with strange modern data, even myths begin to feel like clues. Whether it's aliens, ancient builders, or a misunderstood rock, the moon continues to inspire one question that keeps echoing across time. What is it really? Chapter 7. Conclusion. Echoes of Truth. So, is the moon hollow? Let's be honest, we don't know. Official science gives us rational, tested explanations, and they make sense. A dry, layered satellite that formed from Earth's debris, seismic echoes caused by rigid rock, optical illusions, and overactive imaginations. But then there are the things that don't quite fit. Why does the moon ring like metal, not rock? Why are so many impact craters shallow, as if something just beneath the surface is stopping them? Why are there ancient myths of a time when the moon wasn't even there? We live in an age of high-definition telescopes, private lunar missions, and endless data. And yet, the mystery of the moon is still one of the most compelling in our sky. There's something unsettling about how, perfectly, it hangs in orbit. How it asterisk doesn't rotate, always showing us just one face. How its gravitational pull controls our tides, our bodies, even our sleep. It's not just a rock, it's a silent force always watching. Could it be artificial? Could it have been placed? Could someone or something have made it? Maybe that's just wishful thinking, born from sci-fi and shadows. Or maybe the truth really is out there, waiting to be uncovered. Until we drill deeper, send more missions, and ask better questions, one thing is clear: the moon keeps its secrets well, and perhaps it echoes for a reason. Whether you believe the moon is hollow, artificial, or just misunderstood, one thing's for sure: it's far more mysterious than we were ever taught. And who knows, the next time you look up at the night sky, maybe it's looking back. If you enjoy strange space theories, lost signals, and cosmic mysteries, don't forget to like the video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more. There's a whole universe of secrets out there, and we're just getting started.